there are different topics we are going to cover today in MSBI. Okay, so these are the 10 topics available in MSBI. So what are these 10 topics? So we have split that into 10 modules. Okay, so there are different things in MSBI, so which we will learn. But on the overall, there are 3 basic concepts in MSBI. Okay, one is called SSIS. Okay, whatever your screen here is SSIS, and whatever your screen has SSIS, that is the second part, and the third one will be the SSRS. Okay, so these are the 3 parts of MSBI. So we will be learning all those 3 parts in this course. So at the end of this course, you will be having a good knowledge about SSIS, you will be having a good knowledge about SSIS, and you will be having a good knowledge about SSRS at the end of the day, and you will be doing a project work also, so that you are confident, and when you go to the interviews or to find a new opportunity, then you will have much confidence in delivering things. Okay. So we have set some objectives for this class. So what kind of objective is it? So this particular module encourages us to go through some of the concepts, right? So these concepts, whatever you're seeing in the screen, we are going to learn at the end of the class. So just keep in mind, these are very important to read out, and just keep in mind, so that like at the end of the class, you will be able to map it out, what are the objectives of the class, okay, whether I have learned this or not. Okay, so we will be covering each and every topic of it. So what we do is, first of all, we'll try to understand the concept of business intelligence. And what we do is, like, we take a concept of ERP data, and we see how it deals with the BI. And we take a concept why MSBI is the only one-stop solution. Because if you are already here, we already heard about MSBI, or whatever I have explained in webinar about the MSBI, why the companies are going for MSBI and what is the job trend and all. So why it is the only reason people are going. So we'll discuss about that also. Okay. So we'll discuss about the concepts of data warehouse and how BI works with the data warehouse. Very beautiful concept. So if you have a good knowledge about the data warehouse, and if you can deal with this, you have lot of opportunities outside. I am telling you this for sure. So very, very important concept and very interesting concept. Okay. And we will see what is Microsoft Business Intelligence. We will draw a concept from there, and we see what is SSIS actually. What does this SSIS exactly mean, and how it works. Practically, we see a demo how SSIS works and how it looks like, right? Okay. So because I was talking for almost 20 minutes, what I'll do is, like, I'll go through the questions now, like, to see if there are any concerns from the people. Okay, so there is one question, like, how are we going to do the lab? Okay, so this question is from Biswa Samantha. So what we'll do is, for the lab related purpose, there will be set up from the Edureka side. So you can drop an email to the Edureka contact email for the lab details, so they'll be giving a response for you. Okay. I have another question from Narayanan. So the question is something like this: can we get solution for real project related problems from 24/7 support? Okay, so there is a 24/7 support. You can always contact Edureka for that. Any questions which Edureka can directly answer you, they will try to do it as soon as possible. But if it is very, very specific to some problem which is very unique to you, and if the Edureka staff cannot answer you at that time, what they do is they come back to me. They consolidate all the questions and they come back to me, and we internally discuss, and we find a solution for that, and we give you the answer. But there is a definite chance that you will get the response from Edureka. So this is how we are going to deal. Okay, so I got a question from Vijay. So Vijay is asking, can you please provide software which we need to install? Okay, so we are very important thing and very good question. We are running the course of MSBI on the very latest version. Very latest version. I will be teaching MSBI on MSBI 2014. Okay, this is already 2000 year. So there is a evaluation edition release which is very new in the market. So I'll be teaching you about the evaluation SSIS 2014, AS 2014 and RS 2014. So which are part of SQL Server 2014. Okay. So for this software, Microsoft is giving a free copy for everyone to learn about this 2014. So you can always go to the Microsoft website to download this software and install on your desktops or laptops. So if you are confused about the links, how to download this software, how to install this software, these details are with Edureka. Okay. So we will give you the links where you should go, what you should click, and how you should install, what are the installation steps, everything is with us. Okay, you need not worry on that. So this is with the Edureka. Just drop the email to the Edureka and they will get back to you on that. Okay, so these are the few questions I have. I strongly appreciate everyone to raise the questions, because these questions, right, I may not be telling to you, because if you see a person working from the same industry from last 5 to 10 years, even a complex situation may be a simple for the people who is working in that industry. You may be working in that industry, but as an audience, right? So a simple problem can be can look like a bigger problem, but for me it may not look like. So I may not concentrate on very small things, but if you raise a question here, so you will get a chance to hear the answer. At the same time, the audience also will get a chance to learn something new from that. Okay, so in this way, how will this being said, big consolidation, and this is a powerful tool to improve our user community in the class. Okay, so these are the few questions I have. So I'm going back to my window. So I don't have any questions, but just try to pose the questions, and any questions, then I'll try to pick it in the next after the completion of the next topic. Okay, so we'll try to learn the concept of business intelligence. Okay, I've already explained this concept during the webinar, but there are few people who are not in the webinar, so we will go through those concepts and make sure everybody understands those concepts. Okay, so we have some competition in the world. So what do you mean by competition? We have the competition everywhere. If you're working somewhere, there is a competition from your colleague. If you are doing business, there is a competition from a different organization or a different store or a different place. So there is competition everywhere. So let us take the example of insurance industry. If you take the insurance industries in the US, or if you take in the Middle East countries, or if you take in India, so there is a lot of competition, and there are a lot of insurance companies trying to sell you the products. So every company is facing a challenge, how to sell the products and how customer receives our product. Right? So this is something about the competition. So the world is growing, and there is a lot of competition, and there are a lot of questions from the senior executives of the company about this competition, or to improve the opportunity, or to catch the opportunity, or to improve the business. There are a lot of questions in the senior executive. Say suppose if you're an audience, just assume that you are a senior executive in one of the insurance companies. Okay, so what we'll do is, like, you're running an insurance business and you expect some profits from that. So bottom line for every company is to get the profits. If someone doesn't get the profit, then it's not worth running the company, right? So what happens is, example, let us take the insurance, one of the insurance company called Avaiva or Max. Okay, so you have this insurance company. So say suppose some product is not running, or some insurance policy is not sold. Okay, so what happens is, they want to find out why these products are not getting sold, and how we can tap on the market opportunity, and how we can compete from the other insurance companies. So if you are a senior executive in this company, you may be having some questions like, I have the data everywhere. So I have the information of the different policy holders or the different information about the affordability levels of the people, or I have the information about the salaries of the different people in this city or in this geographical location. So how can I interpret the data so that I can target the correct customer? So can I predict the future of my business trajectory? Example, if I'm doing something to sell my insurance product, if there is a plan, can I tell whether it's going to work or not? Okay. So what is the best way to share the data? How can I monitor the dynamics of changing trends? Right? Because if you see the current market, there is lot of changes in the lot of changes in the business. So earlier they used to have everything as manual process, and recently most of the companies have bring their online business, and currently what they are doing is like they say that you can come to our office to take a policy, or you can log into our website to take a policy, and they have gone beyond that. You can log in your tablet, or download this application from your app store, or download this application from your Play Store, and you can even take a policy from your mobile device. Even if when you are traveling, you can take an insurance policy. So, but how can they do all these things? Based on some decisions on the back end. There are some high level decisions happening on the back end, and based on that, all these things are coming up. So these are the questions from the senior managers or senior executives in the company, right? So what is business intelligence? Sir, there is no standard definition of business intelligence, but I'll tell you what is the meaning of BI. So business intelligence is nothing but it is a concept, or it is a domain where it can transform your raw data into meaningful business information. This is very, very simple definition of business intelligence. So nobody has defined what is business intelligence. It is only a concept where you can learn it as a concept wise, but not as a definition wise. If you have data everywhere, and the data is not, if you transform that data into some meaningful business information, or to take some fact-based decisions, then we call that concept as a business intelligence. It may not be a software also. Sometimes like you do everything on the paper and you get some result out of it. It is also actually business intelligence, right? But what software does is, software helps the organizations to improve the revenues, basically the bottom line or profits. Okay, this is the importance of business intelligence. Okay, so if you see this picture correctly, so there are some different circles over the big circle. Okay, so business intelligence. So when I talk about the business intelligence, it may be related to a data where we get from the ERP system. It may be related to the data where we get from a data warehouse. It may be a place where we get the data from a reporting platform. It may be from a OLAP or data mining analytics. So these are each and every topic, or each and every circle you see here is very, very important and crucial. Okay, we will learn about this more in the next concepts. So if someone is asking what is business intelligence, you tell it is a domain, or it is a concept where you can transform your data into the business meaning information, or to help the business people to take a fact-based decision. Okay. Okay, so earlier we have taken a concept of insurance company having competition. So say suppose some insurance company have some competition, but how can they identify, how can they take better decisions using the concept of business intelligence? So if you look at this slide, so what they will do is, like usually any company who is involved in this business intelligence concept. So what they do is, like, to make use of these business intelligence tools. Example, my company where I am working. So let me give you some real-time view of the problems. Example, I'm working on some of the sales and marketing related projects. So some of the products they are not able to sell, or some of the products are sold more than expected, or some of the products are selling in some country but not selling in some other countries. Okay, or some of the countries are not meeting the target, or some of the countries having problems analyzing the data. So there are different questions from the business in my projects and in my real-time scenario. But what the business will do is directly they don't come to you say that, oh, this is my problem, you do something for me. Nobody says that, right? So, but what they do is like from the business side, when the end user or the senior executive, what they do is they identify the problems or put opportunities in the market. They say that, okay, to improve my business, this is I have to do, right? Out of this, how can I take a decision on this? So what I'll do is, okay, I have to gather the required information. So who can gather the required information for me? So they come to the IS people or IT people, say that, okay, you're a BI person, can you get all these things for me from the different systems? Okay, and once you get the things for me, please give some data in the form of report, right? So that I can analyze. So they come to us and they see if there are any alternatives. They explore the alternatives. Is this the only one which I can do to improve the business, or is there any direct chance of, is there any better way to do that? So once we give the reports and all those things from the data, so they'll be able to do a data analysis and QA on that, and they'll able to take a better decision. So this is a waterfall model of business intelligence decision making. So this is only a concept, and I'm showing you only one of the slides of it. But if you go online and search something about the business intelligence, there are tons of topics here revolving around that, right? So I strongly suggest you to do the hard work and background work even after the class, so that when you come to the next class, right, you have enthusiasm or you have some energy saying that, okay, I learned some new concept yesterday, then I can continue from today. So the basic problem with the trainings, what happens is the tutor explains everything, but from the audience side, like, they attend the class and they don't do any background work and come to the next class. So what happens at that time? So you will lose the energy. You will not be enthusiastic. But if you learn something apart from the class, then just see the difference. Just try it out today. After the class, just go to Google or just go to somewhere to get some documentation and read something about MSBI. And when you come to the next class, you will be amazed seeing the results. You will have a lot of energy. So I strongly suggest to do that. Okay. So digging more into the concept of business intelligence, right? So business intelligence is a concept of transforming the data from the different system into some meaningful business information, right? Or to help the business to take the fact-based decisions. So how can they take the fact-based decisions? Example, if I am having a ERP system in your company. So what do you mean by ERP system? Enterprise Resource Planning. So if you are selling some FMCG products, what I mean by FMCG products is a fast-moving consumer goods, something like a toothpaste you use or a soap you use. It may be anything, right? So the ERP system will be having the details from the different domains. One is the HR domain. Second will be the say it can be the sales domain, or it can be having the data related to the CRM system, or it may be having the data related to the finance system. So in the ERP system, say one of the ERP platform, the famous ERP platform is SAP, right? Or you have some other ERP platform called BPIX, right? So you have some software called JD Edwards is also ERP system. So which will have the data from all the domains. So what we can do is, like, we can tap on the ERP systems using the MSBI concept, and we can do the different concepts of business intelligence. We can generate, once we get the data, what we can do is we can do the dimensional modeling. We will see what is dimensional modeling. It may be new for you. We will see that. And based on the dimensional modeling, we will do a reports, and further the senior executives will do the data analysis. So this covers the whole concept of business intelligence. You have the data everywhere. You do the ETL. So ETL is extract, transform, and load. And you do a dimensional modeling, and you develop some reports, and the business people will be having the data analysis on top of these reports for the fact-based decisions. Okay. So the next slide explains something about the concept of ERP and BI. So coming together of ERP and BI is similar to bringing two critical sides of an important business together. Okay. So this, if I relate these two things, right? In the ERP system, what happens is it is a transactional system. So it's a place where we get the information from the different domains. As you see in the previous slide, we get the data from different domains, right? So that also gets the difference. But what is the difference between the ERP and BI? So in the ERP system, we will run the business. We will run the business in the ERP system. But once we run the business, we need to make some decisions based on those business transactions. So that's where the BI comes. Okay. So this is the basic difference, very high level difference from the ERP systems and the BI systems. Okay. So how BI can help is, if someone has a problem, as I said, if some senior executive have some problem, having problems to take the better decisions in the organization, so they will come to the BA. So, but what are the questions is very important. So some people say that I have the data everywhere, but I can't find what I need. So I can't get the data I need. So okay, I have this report, but actually I don't understand what is going on with this report. Do you know what does that report mean? What are these columns mean in the report? So I actually don't understand these numbers, how to interpret this report. So I have this data, but I can't use it. It's a junk. So these are the questions from the different senior executives. But here what we have is like we can use the concept of BI to answer the questions. Okay. So if you are a senior executive from the company, if you are a user, or if you are a user in the finance domain, or if you are a user in the sales domain, usually, or if you are a vice president or president of a company or some director level position, so what they want is like they say that okay, my company may be doing the business anywhere. Example, one of the insurance company may be doing the business all over the world, but the CEO of the company, what he says is, okay, I want the financial report for this year so that I can release to the stockholders, stakeholders and the media, right? So how to do the financial report? Maybe a company something like Avaiva or Max New York or these type of companies are doing the business in almost 50 to 100 countries. So if they want to generate a financial report, then they have to collect the data from the different countries and give the things, right? So what they want is they want the summarized version of the data. Okay, so this country, this is the sales, or this country, this is the sales, or this country, this is the profit. So this is the summary, high level summary, right? And they say that like, okay, if I take a decision to increase my product cost by 2%, how my sales will be increasing, or how my customers will be decreasing. What is my competitor selling the same product at what price? So this type of what if questions the users have. So business intelligence will give an idea, will give a business intelligence will be a platform for the business users to take an effective decision based on those user problems. Okay, so these are the questions from some manager. Example, so some of your friends or relatives or some people who are maybe working in the marketing, or if they are working in the sales, right? So usually they have some questions like, I'm selling so many products. Can you show me the products which is giving high margin to me? This is one of the questions. Or I'm selling thousands of products, but what are my top 10 products in the sales? I'm selling thousands of products, but the stock levels for some of the products are only in few hundreds. So I want to increase the stock levels of those products. So what is my inventory status? Right. So I have thousands of products, but some of the products are not doing any sales. So can I have the list of those products? Right. Well, okay, so what if like if I sell something which is, example, if I have 10 products but 5 products are selling and 5 products are not selling, so maybe I can do something like this. When the people buy one out of those 5 products, I'll give a buy one get one offer from the other 5 products, so that at least they get a chance to use the other product and see and get the feedback of that. because anyways it is not selling, it's a dumb stock for me. So is there any effect on the business? Is there any effect on our bottom line, which is called as profit, right? So maybe like sometimes they ask the question that, okay, I'm doing a business in last 50 to 100 countries. Example, Johnson and Johnson. If you take Johnson and Johnson products, Johnson and Johnson is selling over 130 countries. They are into different FMCG products. They are into medical devices industry. They are into so many industries, right? They are making over 250 billion US dollars revenue, right? And they operate over 130 countries. So they say that, okay, in the fast moving consumer goods, the Johnson and Johnson executive wants, okay, in India, can you give me a place where my sales is very high or my sales is very low? Who can give this answer? It's very tough for a person, individual person, to get this answer. It is possible only to get through the systems. So that is a platform where business intelligence comes, and MSBI is one of the solutions for the people to go and get the things, right? So as I said, as the MSBI is the solution, so why MSBI is the solution is the thing, right? So there are a lot of different tools in the market, different BI tools, but the MSBI gives a complete end-to-end solution for the BI technologies. So what is that end-to-end technologies? Who are those competitors? I will just try to tell you a very high level. Okay. So MSBI, there are only few players in the market for who are giving the complete end-to-end solution for the BI. So one of the players I can say is SAP BI. Okay. In the SAP BI, people have the SAP has database and they have ETL process, OLAP, and reporting. But what are these concepts? I'll tell you, just don't get confused out of this. But we'll try to see who are the SAP is one of the competitor, SAP BI, and Oracle is one of the competitor. And we have few other companies, like if you say take the IBM, right? IBM also has a database called DB2, and they have some few BI tools. So one of the BI tools they have is data stage for the ETL purpose, and they have something like Cognos. Okay. So we will see why MSBI and who are those competitors, right? So this is MSBI is the one-stop solution for everything. If you can see these slides, what MSBI can give, it provides a single version of the truth. So what is the meaning of single version of the truth? Example, if you have several systems in the organization, okay, so one of the system tells you that profit for Johnson and Johnson products in India is $1 billion this year, $1 billion US dollars, okay, but some other system tells you that no, it's not 1 billion, it is 1.1 billion. Then who is correct? And a manager says that no, I'm doing offline reporting, it is actually 1.15 billion. Then who is correct here? So that's why there is a lot of conflict in organizations to maintain a correct version of the truth. So using the concept of MSBI and using the concept of data warehouse, we actually can deliver the single version of the truth. So we have so many concepts like master data management, data quality services, and all those things in the MSBI. So using those concepts, we can give the single version of the truth. Okay. And what MSBI can do is, like, it can give the fact-based decisions or in a quick and timely manner, right? So it reduces the error-prone and manual work done, right? If the multiple people are doing the manual work, there is a definite chance that it may go wrong, right? So what happens is that the people will depend on the system to get the correct version of it or to get the exact details of it. So the beautiful thing about the MSBI is they have very rich analysis studios. So they have the concepts like beyond the MSBI, Microsoft has some concepts like Power BI or Power Pivot, okay, or SharePoint integration, where you can have the reports in that. So these type of things are very, very high level analysis topics in MSBI. So MSBI has that strength, and it has the strength to support historical data, and it has the strength to support the summarized data. So you should understand the concept of summarized data. Example, in cricket, if Sachin Tendulkar comes to the ground, what happens? So usually in the Star Sports or ESPN cricket, they give a summary of that player. This is the player name, this is this age, and these are the number of matches played in Test, One Day International, T20 and IPL. These are the number of runs scored, right? So this is very high level summary of that profile. It happens the same in the football, right? Everywhere it happens the same. So this is the summary, but beyond that summary, there are a lot of details. So what are those details? What are the matches with what countries he has played? What are the venues? How many number of times he has made the centuries? So what is the date? What is the ground name? And all those things are the deeper details. But when the player comes, they give only the summary. When you look at the summary, you understand, okay, this is a high level view. So MSBI can do those type of things, right? So you have to understand the vision statement of every course. So Microsoft is trying to improve the concept of Microsoft Business Intelligence from very long time, right from 2005. In 2005, they have released this concept of MSBI. Before that, they have the concept of ETL and some other things. But what happened is, like, it was split into several parts. It was not a complete suite. But right from 2005, Microsoft is striving very, very hard to get their business growing up and running in the market. Before 2005, it was not much into the BI, but after 2005, it is growing enormously, and it has so many versions of BI. It is trying to improve advanced analytics and self-service BI, which is very, very fresh topic in the market. Self-service BI. It means that without the use of developer, if the developer gives a platform for the business end user, how can the business end user do the reporting themselves, right? It has the powerful feature like you doing the analysis using the OLAP browser, or it may be from the Excel spreadsheets. So it has given some of the products and tools to improve the concept of MSBI. So Microsoft has a lot of vision in this industry because they see that there are only few pioneers in this market. Somebody like SAP BI or Oracle OBIEE or Oracle database, or somebody like IBM and Microsoft. These are the only few players in the market. So they are striving very hard to get into this. Now it's trying very hard to improve the business. Already it is in the top 3 players in the market. So the top 3 players for whole database and MSBI is IBM, Oracle and Microsoft. Okay. So there are few principles of Microsoft Business Intelligence. So what they do is before they came to the market, this is very important. This is one of the stories which I wanted to share with you. Before 2005, there are few players in the market who are already established. Okay, somebody like Business Objects or somebody like Cognos or some ETL tools like DataStage or Oracle, if you say take, or a DB2 database. There are a lot of databases and BI tools available in the market. But how Microsoft entered into that domain is they thought of simple concepts. Okay, so everybody is selling high, but what I will do is I will invest in this. I need not get any profits for some time. I need not get profits for 10 years. I will invest in this, and I will sell at a very, very affordable price to the companies. Example, one of my real-time scenarios, when we implemented the BA solution in my company, for setting up the Microsoft SQL Server database and the complete BA solution, for one server it costed around $25,000 US. Okay, but when we compared the same thing with the IBM solution, it was over $250,000 US. $250,000 US. So it was almost 8 to 10 times of the Microsoft price. Then we thought that no, we don't go for IBM because it's very expensive and there is like lot of charges for the support or to give some add-ons or additional tools. Whereas in Microsoft, everything is packed together as a suite and it's selling at a very affordable price so that companies will use it. Once the company uses it, what happens is if there is one project in the market, there will be 10 developers or 15 developers in it. So that is how the MSBI is developing. So this is the target of Microsoft. Make it affordable for the companies to take it, right? So that they can use it first of all. And once they use it for 10 or 12 years, what I'll do is I'll try to increase my price a bit because they're already using it and they don't have any other chance. This is their strategy, right? And they're giving a commitment for the long-term support. If you see the topics or forums or blogs, you have a website called MSDN, right? Microsoft Digital Networks for the Business Intelligence. So if you see the topics over there, right? So there's a lot of activity going, especially on the BI area, right? So they have a long-term commitment and they want to improve in each and every area of BI. So this is the best time to jump into the MSBI concepts, right? Very important slide. Okay, the next slide is very important. So what I'll do is like I'll go through these slides, and I already see some people asking the questions. Okay, so once I complete this slide, right, you will be understanding what is exactly the MSBI, and after that I'll take some few questions. Okay, and we'll continue with the remaining concepts which is related to the data warehouse. Okay. So by the meantime, any questions you have, right, please post it in the chat window so that we can take it off from there. Okay. So this is very important slide. If you are very new to the BI area, I suggest you to take a printout of this slide to understand the concept of BI or MSBI. So what happens is usually when you learn a new course, there will be a big question mark in our minds. What happens is, what are the different tools used, why it is used, how it is used, what is the difference between this tool and that tool. People say there is reporting tools called Cognos Business Objects, and what is the difference between MSBI and that one, where Cognos fits as a competitor to MSBI. Or the people say that OBEEE is good, but why people are going for MSBI. So you will have very, very deep and very valid questions in your mind, but to understand more about that, I strongly suggest you to analyze from your side also. But if you have any straightforward question, you can always ask me. But this is very important slide which tells you what is MSBI and what it does. Okay. So MSBI is nothing but Microsoft Business Intelligence. Okay. As I told you earlier, there are three important tools present in MSBI. One is SSIS. Second is SSAS, and the third is SSRS. Remember these three things. Remember SSIS, remember SSAS, remember SSRS. Very important. So what do you mean by SSIS? SSIS is nothing but SQL Server Integration Services. What is SSAS? SSAS is SQL Server Analysis Services. What is SSRS? SSRS is SQL Server Reporting Services. Okay, these are the three tools which we are going to learn in 10 modules of this course. Okay, remember these names. Okay, so but what is SSIS? Okay, SSIS is nothing but it is a concept of ETL. Okay, so what is ETL? ETL is nothing but it is extract, transform, and load. So what I'll do is I'll take a notepad to give you a good picture of ETL. Is because I feel this is very important slide for you. If you are attending MSBI for the first time, then you should understand the concept of ETL. If everybody can see my screen, what I'll do is like I'll increase my font so that everybody can see it. So ETL is nothing but extraction, transformation, and load. So this is the concept of ETL. So what I'll do is I'll make it 28 so that it is bigger. I hope you're seeing it, right? So the concept of ETL is extract, transform, and load. So what do you mean by extract, transform, and load? What do you mean by that? Example, you have the data present in Oracle system, or you have the data present in a flat file, or you have the data present in a SAP database, or it may be a flat file or CSV file or a spreadsheet, or it may be in cloud platform or a CRM system or ERP system or anywhere else. The source may be XYZ. What you have to do is you have to extract the things from the source. Okay, you have to transform that into the required format, and you have to load into a database. to do this effort, we need a tool called SSIS. So what is SSIS? SSIS is nothing but ETL tool. SSIS is nothing but ETL tool. Who are the competitors of SSIS? The competitors of SSIS in the market are Informatica, major competitor. Data Stage, another major competitor. Right? So these are the competitors of SSIS. So, and next, once we pick the data from the different systems, we do the process of extract, transform and load using the SSIS software, and we load into, it can be loaded into a database, or it can be loaded into a flat file, or it can be saved into a disk, or it can be loaded into anywhere else, right? So, but usually using the SSIS, we load into a place called database most of the times. So the database can be a data warehouse also. But what is a database and what is a data warehouse, we will see in the future slides, right? So it is used to collect the data sources, load into a data warehouse, and then we perform the OLAP. Okay. So what is OLAP? OLAP is online analytical processing, right? Spelling mistake, let me correct it. Okay. So online analytics processing. So what is this online analytics processing? It's nothing but during your school times or during your young age, you might be studying about the concept of square. What is a square? It will be having two sides. Okay. And what is a rectangle? It will be having a length and breadth. It also has two sides. But after square and rectangle, you will have another concept called cube. Right? Square has only sides, rectangle has only length and breadth, but cube has length, breadth and width. Right? Three angles. So can you see the complete picture of a cube at a single time? You cannot. So what do you mean by cube? So what I mean by cube is this one. You might have studied already in your school standards about the cube. Can you see the total view of a cube from one side? You cannot see it. You have to turn the cube to see the angles because it is a three-dimensional structure. Three-dimensional structures cannot be seen directly. So if you already know the SQL, if you already know the table, right? If you know the SQL table, so SQL table is like a square or rectangle. It has only rows and columns. That's it. It's only two-dimensional. But it doesn't have a third dimension. The third dimension when it enters, and the dimension can be a third dimension, it can be a fourth dimension, it can be a fifth dimension, or it can be a nth dimension to store the data. Very important concept. That concept we call it as a cube. But how, what and all, when we deal with this course in the SSIS, I'll clearly explain about the cube. But this is a very high level concept. Multi-dimensional structure. Table is a two-dimensional structure. Cube is a multi-dimensional structure. So we use this concept of online analytical processing, and we develop this using a concept called SSIS. Right? And the third one is reporting. Right? Reporting is done from the concept called SSRS. Once you load the data from the different sources into a data warehouse, you do the OLAP, you build a cube, and what you do is you develop the reports or dashboards or scorecards using a tool called SSRS. Okay. If someone asks you what is ETL, extract, transform and load, the competitors for this is Informatica, Data Stage, Orchestrate, all these things. Right? If someone asks you what is OLAP, it is a place where we can develop the cubes for the multidimensional analysis. So the competitors for SSIS is we can develop the cubes in Cosmos, business objects and other places also. Right. So and we have a concept called reporting to generate the report. So what is a report? Report is nothing but it is a place where it can show the things in a beautiful manner. Example, you get your utility bill, right? Or you get your telecom bill, or you get your electricity bill, or it can be a water bill, any bill. Everything you get in the form of a report, right? You get your name, you get your home address, and they say that from these are the from this month to this month you have used so much of amount of energy and this is your total price. Along with the tax you have to pay this, and from this date you have to pay, and this is your due date. This is a very simple report, right? So like that you can develop the reports using the concept of SSRS. There are few competitors for the SSRS, like something like Cognos. You can develop reports. You can develop the reports in business objects. You can develop the reports in click view, tab view. So these are the new things. Okay, I hope you got the things about MSBI. So this is a clear picture of MSBI. If it is very new, I ask you to take a printout and just go through these things after the class. Okay, so what I'll do is I have few questions, right? I have few questions from not few questions, there are a lot of questions when I open the chat window. Let me take it in ascending order. Okay, so the question from Narayanan is, we still use 2008 R2 version. How do we get, what are the new features in 2012 and 2014? Do you give a comparison study? Very good question. Okay, so I can give you the comparison study. Currently, we did not explain about the new features of 2014, but what I can do is, I am not showing that in the slide, but very valid question. What I will do is, when I show SSIS, when I show SSAS, and when I show SSRS, right? So I'll be going through some new things present there, and at that time I'll tell you what is new, what was not there in 2008, and what is new in 2014, so that you know what is the difference. Okay, I'll cover those topics. Thanks for asking that question. Right. So let me take some other question. Vijay asked, like, can you please provide us the slides? Okay, so this information you can get it from Edureka. So Edureka will be able to give all the assistance on this, and you'll be able to have the copy of this one. Okay. And Bhavin asked some question like, what is the difference between OLAP and OLTP? Exactly, very good question. So the person who are learning the MSBI for the first time should know about this concept, OLTP and OLAP. OLTP is a system which is for online transactional processing. Okay, OLAP is a system for online analytical processing. So OLTP means, example, transactions. So what do you mean by transaction? You go to a shop, you buy some product and you pay the bill, and the cashier will give you the receipt. That's it. A transaction is completed. So what they do is enter your products, get the price of it, and they generate the bill and just give it to you. So the transaction is closed. You go to your ATM, you put your ATM card, you withdraw the money, and you come out of the ATM station. A transaction is completed. Right? So what is a transaction? If a particular thing starts, it should end at the same time. So that's a transaction. If you are doing a shopping in online portal, you select the products, add to the cart, check out and pay the bill. Your transaction is complete. These systems are called as OLTP systems, which are in the form of transactions, right? Which is a very real time. And usually in the OLTP system, we use the concept of databases. Example, Oracle have the support of OLTP. SQL Server has the support of OLTP. Right, DB2 has the support of OLTP, MySQL, Sybase, and all these cloud platforms. Right? But what is the difference between OLTP and OLAP? OLAP is an online analytical platform, analytical processing. Once you have the transactions from the OLTP system, example, ERP system, you have the data. Once you have the transactions from the ERP system, you go to a shop, you buy the product, transaction is completed. But for that shop, there are thousands of customers every day, and if you take in a month, there are few hundred thousands of customers, right? So if the company wants to check what are the number of products sold by this shop, or what is the profit made by this shop, what is the lowest product we sold till now, lowest price product, what is the highest margin product we have, these are the questions, right, after the transaction is completed. This concept can be only done in the concept of OLAP. Very good question, and you have to understand the difference. So OLTP is a transaction, OLAP is after the transactions, you aggregate the data and you give the answer. That is OLAP. Okay. Okay, so Narayanan asked another question between the data sources and data warehouse. will there be a staging database? Okay, this is very purely technical question at this point. Okay, so for your concept, depending on the project scenario, a staging database can be there or cannot be there. It depends on the design of your platform. That those things, when I cover the SSIS, maybe I'll try to show you the deeper things in that. Okay. Okay, so one question from Bhaskar is like, can you give me the comparison for all the versions in a single slide, so we can easily understand? Okay, so what we'll do is like, I'll try to work out with the Edureka team and see if we can generate that slides and give it back to you. Okay. Some other questions for like, do you have any suggestions for MSBI books or SQL, sir? We will give the content and Edureka will be helping out you on the 24/7 support. Narayanan asked one important question, like, does this course teach MSBI integration with SharePoint for dashboard and reporting? Okay, this course covers 3 topics, SSIS, AS and RS. Okay. But we are not dealing with the SharePoint integration. So that once you cover the MSBI, once you understand the concept of reporting, the next another concept which is used is like how you can integrate SharePoint with SSRS. That particular topic we are not covering. Okay. So somebody asked like, the other guy asked like, what is the difference between Microsoft Dynamics and MSBI? Totally different. Microsoft Dynamics is a CRM platform, and MSBI is a business intelligence platform. Microsoft Dynamics is a customer relationship management, right? You call to a call center. So a call center representative will use Microsoft Dynamics, or you are doing a marketing event. To generate the marketing event, Microsoft Dynamics is used, right? You are doing a technical service. So there Microsoft Dynamics is used. But these two are totally different concepts. Right, so that's it. Like, I have these questions. So any other questions, just try to put it here. I hope I have answered all your questions. Okay, so I'll go through the next slide, which is something on the data warehouse. Okay, so data warehouse, very important concept. What is a warehouse? First of all, I think we are hearing the term of warehouse from childhood. So if you see the cultivation or agriculture, so people grow the paddy or rice and anything, right? So any cultivation or agriculture output will be stored in a warehouse. There will be big warehouses where your things will be stored, right? So once your things are stored, what they do is like they can take it those products whenever possible, right? And they sell into the market. So this is called as a regular warehouse, right? Where you put your byproducts there to safeguard it from the rain and sun, right? That's a regular warehouse. But you have the data. But if you have the data, so you have to store it somewhere, right? That place is called a data warehouse. So the data can be anything. It can be your bank account, or it can be your premium receipts, or it can be your electricity bills, or it can be anywhere. So, but it should be in the form of soft copy, and it can be stored in some database. That's a data warehouse. Very simple concept. Okay, but to be technical enough to deal with all the features of data warehouse, right? So there is a standard definition, right? So the people there are some experts like Ralph Kimball or Inmon in the industry, where the initiators of the concepts of data warehouse and dimensional modeling. So some people give the data warehouse definition as something like this. So data warehouse is a single place. Data warehouse is a single place which has complete information. Data warehouse is a single place which has complete information and consistent enough to store the data obtained from variety of different sources. Okay, and made available to end users in what they can understand and use in a business context. So to convert this definition into still simpler terms, it's nothing but you have the data everywhere. You need a place where you can you need a single place where you can store that data to get the complete information out of it, and it will be consistent enough, it will be strong enough to give the data to the business users whenever they want, at whatever the time they want, right? So using that data, business users will do a fact-based decision. Okay, and one important thing you have to know about the data warehouses. So usually people know the concepts of database. They see SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, or the database. When they see the data warehouse, right, like they see the data warehouse is something different. It is a different place, or it is a different thing which we should learn. It's not like that. Data warehouse is a place. Its data warehouse is nothing. There is no physical thing for the data warehouse. So there is a myth that data warehouse is something different than a database. It's not. Data warehouse is nothing but it has a database physically. So SQL Server database can be designed as a data warehouse. Oracle database can be designed as a data warehouse. It is only the concept, not the physical thing. The physical thing will be a database. Okay, so what is the architecture of data warehousing? So you have the operational data. So where you have stored in the different places, many different sources of data. So as I told, it can be from Oracle, SAP, or it can be from DB2, or Platform, spreadsheet, CSV, anywhere. Right? You do the ETL operation, and you load the data into the data warehouse, and you generate the concept of OLAP. I told you the concept of cube, right? The picture shows the cube, right? And then you give the reports to the business users. So this is the architecture of data warehousing. So somebody asked a question much prior to this. What is OLTP? I already explained about the OLTP. If you are doing a bank transaction, that becomes the OLTP. If you are completing a transaction in a store, online store, that's a OLTP model. Whatever the transaction you are doing, it's a OLTP, right? And what is OLAP? OLAP is something like online analytical processing, which is once after that all the transactions are completed, you based on those transactions you improve the you get the answers for your queries. That's the place where the OLAP stores, right? So definition wise you can get it, but the concept wise I think you got the concept right. Somebody wants the sales from this time in this location. I want the sales from, I want the Johnson & Johnson executive is asking the question like, I want the sales in India from 2013 to 2014, where only the male products or female products have bought it. Okay, and the price should be under 100, maybe $100 to $100 or 100 rupees. So this is the very high level question from senior executive. In India, from this time, I want the sales figure who are bought by male customers. So what are those sales figures? Based on that, what they will do, if the sales figure is low, they will try to launch the new male products. If the sales figures are high, they will try to launch the new products for the female. So this type of decisions they can take. So that is possible using the OLAP model. Okay. So OLTP and OLAP, I hope you understand. So I'm just going, cutting over this. But how the data is stored in the OLTP and OLAP, I told you, right? OLTP is nothing but it is a place for different transactions, right? OLTP is a place for transactions. So so what happens is, if you are going for say suppose that you are doing a transaction in the ATM and you have withdrawn some amount from that, and you will have some balance left over, right? So these are the transactions. Example, on June 1st, with this account number, in some ATM number 1, this is the customer, he has withdrawn $500 and the balance is example $5,000, right? And this is the region. And in the several other regions, there are different transactions happening from the different customers. These are the details. Okay. But in the ETL processing, what we need is, example, consider a warehouse. We are developing a data warehouse where we are loading the data only after 6 a.m. So these transactions are completing from 5 a.m., 5:15 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Right? We want to load after 6 a.m. So after 6 a.m. there are only 2 records, right? There are only 2 records. Okay, if you want to consider before 6 a.m., right? If it is loaded before 6 a.m., there are only 2 records, right? this is one record and this is another record. So this will be part of the ETL and only this information is stored. Once this information is stored, what we will do is, using the concept of OLAP, we generate the cube to answer the different questions and to generate the reports out of it. Okay, so this is very high level understanding of OLTP and OLAP. So this is a slide. We'll give you the slides and you can see the purpose of OLTP is running the business, right? But for OLAP it is not. It is used for analyzing and to take the better decisions, right? So as I told you, the nature of the data in the OLTP systems are transaction. You go to ATM, withdraw the money, transaction, right? Which is the current data. But in the OLAP it is not like that. It is a summary version or it is integrated. Sachin Tendulkar coming to the ground in the cricket, you see a summary of it. You don't see every match, how many runs he has made, how many number of balls with which country, and all these are the internal details which are a transaction kind of. But the summary you'll see as a summary report, right? Source of data can be captured during the business process executions, but the source of data for this one is the OLTP databases, or it can be a flat file, or it can be anywhere, right? Age of data is basically it's like the type of the columns used. We call it as a column or attribute in the OLTP, but in the OLAP we call it as a tuple or a field. Okay, so then there are other differences for the load frequency and all those things. Like so in this slide it shows that load frequency is a daily frequency or weekly, but for OLAP is weekly. It need not be weekly. It can OLAP can be daily also, right? So but this is a time based transaction. Transactions can happen daily or weekly, but this can also happen every day or weekly or monthly or quarterly. So there is another important concept. I told you, right? I told you one topic. For OLTP and OLAP, we use the database. But why it is called as data warehouse? If you use the concept of OLTP in a database, example SQL Server is a database, use the concept of OLTP and design the things in the normalized manner. Then that's called as a transactional system or OLTP system. But if you're designing the table structures in denormalized format, something like dimension tables and fact tables, which we see it later, these topics are called as these things is called as a data warehouse. If the tables are designed in a denormalized structure, then it is called as a data warehouse, which falls under OLAP. Okay. So we will see like what is OLAP, and also this is a very high level. So at this point, right, I feel it is very tough for you to understand the concept of real-time OLAP and MOLAP. We'll see it at a later point of time. Okay. So these are the, as I told you, there are some dimension tables and fact tables in the OLAP system, which we will deeply learn when we learn about the SSIS. Okay, we should learn about the concept of dimension table, and we should learn about the concept of fact table. Okay, but what is OLAP, MOLAP, in the MOLAP, in the multi-dimensional cube, how it is developed and all, we learn it a lot later, but just take it as a slide as of now. Okay, this is the questions time, guys. Okay, so as I told you, right, during the starting of the session, so we will do some quiz. We will do some quiz, right? Module wise quiz. So this also, we have Annie here. So Annie is our auntie. So she will be asking you some questions. Okay, so she loves quizzes and puzzles, and she is here to make you guys think and answer the questions. Okay, so why do you think that results of MSBI gives a single version of the truth? Can you ping in the chat window? Why do you think that MSBI gives the single version of the truth? Okay, so I got the answers from someone like because it has a concept of data warehousing, and it has a concept of ETL, it has a concept of analysis services. So using these concepts, it can integrate with the different systems and act as a single version of truth. Okay, so so let's see the answer. So I'm just going through the next slide. Right. So this is the answer. The reports that we receive after the last service of MSBI are consistent. or based on the results taken from the dimensions of the system, which gives the best possible way to tackle the problems, which is referred to single version of the truth. Basically, using all these concepts of the concepts of MSBI, we get the single version of the truth, which are SSIS, AS, and RS. Okay. So what I'll do is I have some more slides, which explains the architecture of MSBI. Okay. So once I complete these slides, what I'll do is I'll take we will take a short break, which is of maximum of 10 minutes. And after that, if you have any, for next 10 minutes, we will see if you have any voice over questions. Okay. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then what we do is we continue with the remaining topics, because we have the too many number of slides to complete, and this is a 3-hour session, so we have to keep in track of the time also. Okay, so I have these slides as MSBI architecture, and once I complete this architecture, I'll be starting something on SSIS. Very beautiful and important thing. But before we start the SSIS, for the next 1 to 1.5 hours, we will take some break and we'll take some questions. Okay. So before the break, consider this as a last topic. So you can have a commercial break. You can do the things and just come back. Okay. If you can see the screen, right? Microsoft BI platform. Microsoft BI platform is consisting of several things, right? So as already we discussed, it has a business intelligence platform, which is having integration services, analysis services, reporting services, SSIS, SSAS, SSRS. And what is database management? It is a SQL Server database. Okay. It can take the data from the different source systems. It can put the data in the data warehouse, right? This is the BA platform. But after the BA platform, the end users use some tools, something like Excel or Power Pivot or Performance Point Server, to see the reports developed from MSBI. Okay, and that the reports can be stored in SharePoint. SharePoint is a content management software, or it is called as it can be used for the workflow also. So in the SharePoint, what we do is we display the results. SharePoint is nothing but like we use the SharePoint from a web browser, right? It is a content management software. So we can see the SSRS reports in the SharePoint, where we can control the security of the end users, because for not for everyone we want to give the access. Example, if there is a financial report which should be seen only by the CEO and president of the company, and no other should see it, right? Then we should maintain the security. That security can be maintained in SharePoint. Okay? So this is a content management software. So this is high level overview of MSBI. As I told you, we have the concept of business intelligence, right? It is 4 things, and then we will try to learn each and every part of this one. But already I told you something about SSIS, AS, and RS. But we did not talk about database management. So SQL Server 2014 has a database which is called as SQL Server database, which is used for which is a Microsoft RDBMS product. Right? So what we can do in the database, you can use the database as a data warehouse also. So to use the database as a data warehouse, what we should do, we have to design the table structures in the denormalized format. Right? We have to design the table structures in the denormalized format. And Microsoft has improved the concepts of high availability, partitioning, manageability, and query optimizations in the database management system for to streamline the data into the warehouse operation and increase the performance. Okay. So there are a lot of systems which are using SQL Server as a concept of RDBMS product. Even in my company, like from the past 10 years, I was working with major telecom companies, something like I worked with Verizon and some insurance and investment banks. Everywhere, wherever I work, they have the concepts of SQL Server and they have concepts of MSBI, right? So that is the reason why I was there. and it's not strict. It is not that only one domain is using and the other domain is not using. Right? So all the domains in the market, either it is in the sales and marketing, or is it in the insurance, or it is in the investment banks, or it may be a retail bank, or it may be insurance, reinsurance companies, or it may be medical devices. Any company, all the different domains are using the SQL Server products now because it is very affordable and they give high commitment and support to the end use for the Microsoft users. Right? So I told you SSIS is nothing but the ETL platform, right? I told you about the ETL, extract, transform and load, which transforms the data and loads into the data warehouse. Very simple concept, right? Hope you understood about SSIS. So SSIS, as I told you in the notepad, right? SSIS is a place where it is used for ETL purpose. So the one which I explained in the notepad, extract, transform and load. And it can moves and transform the data between sources, destinations. Your source can be anything, right? Oracle, DB2, SAP, flat file, CSV file, Excel file, Access database, MySQL, Sybase, Redbricks, Informax. If the source can be anything, it can be a SharePoint list, or it can be a cloud platform, or it can be a CRM. So it can be a CRM platform, right? So the source can be anything. It can be an ERP system or anything. So what ETL does is it can take the data and transforms between sources and destinations, and the destination also can be anything, regardless of the format. Ensures data integrity and cleans the data in remarkable format. Integrates heterogeneous data sources, right? Because if you take from the ERP, CRM and other systems, like you are dealing with the multiple systems, which is called as a heterogeneous data sources. ETL is for that. And for ETL, doing the ETL process, we use a tool called integration services, which we short form call it as SSIS. And next concept, as we discussed, we have the concept of SSIS, which I already explained you in the MSBI architecture slide. But what we will do is, here we will try to see as a summary, right? I told you, right, in the notepad I have explained you, analysis services is used to develop the cubes, right? Cube is a multi-dimensional structure which has more than 2 axes, right? But what is more than 2 axes, like how it is used and all, we'll see it in the when we study SSIS, right? It also includes advanced analytical features such as complete data mining and KPIs. So KPIs is nothing but key performance indicator, right? See, key performance indicator is nothing but example, if a company is having a sales target of $100 million this year. So they put a KPI for that, right? Okay, so the KPI for them is, if they achieve $100 million, then their achievement rate is good. If they achieve more than $100 million, then it is excellent. If they achieve below $100 million, then it is poor, right? So this is the KPI. These type of things can be shown as a pictorial thing in SSIS cubes, right? Using the SSIS cubes. So we will develop the cubes and we will use those cubes to generate the report, right? And as I told you, we have a reporting platform. The competitors for reporting platform are Cognos, Tableau, QQ, or Business Objects, like MicroStrategy. These are the competitors for SSRS, right? So it will generate the report. The report can be electricity bill or it can be a premium receipt, right? The report can be anything. So it can be a report to the CEO. It can be a financial statement also, right? So provide a complete reporting platform so that the end users can view the data using a web browser or a desktop. So we have a concept of we have the concept of reporting services manager, right? And we have a concept of reporting server where we see all the reports using a web browser, and at the same time you can see it from the desktop also using the report builder. Right? Includes reports authoring tools for both technical developers and business users. So using the concept of report builder, end users can create the reports themselves. Okay, how they can do and all we'll see later, right? Allow web-based viewing and rendering popular documents formats such as Microsoft Excel and PDF. You can see it from the web browser. What you can do is, like, if you are satisfied, you can download that into a PDF or you can download that into Excel spreadsheet. So contains robust email subscription capability. Very, very, very important concept of SSRS. The concept of subscription. Some people, example, they don't want to see the reports every day logging in somewhere and check it. They want everything to come into their mailbox every day morning, or they want that to come into their file location every day. So that concept is possible, very powerful concept, which is available in other reporting tools and in MSBI, SSRS also, is called the concept of subscription. Okay. And then we have end user performance management tools, which is Performance Point Server and Excel. This is the place where they can see reports in a beautiful manner, and dashboard. We can create the concept of dashboards. So dashboard is nothing but putting the different reports together is called as a dashboard. Okay, dashboard is nothing but multiple reports, graphs, charts, and all these things in a single place is called a dashboard. Example, once the report is developed in the SSRS, you can use Microsoft Excel to generate the report. Store 1, store 2, store 3, until store 10. These are the sales amounts. And this is a simple report which explains the concept of sales. Right? This is generated in Excel, and you can do that in the Performance Point Server also. Okay. So what is a Performance Point Server? Like, Performance Point Server is mainly used to is a place where the dashboards can be developed, and you can do the different monitoring and analysis to take the better decisions. So this is only one of the options to view the SSRS report. So you can view that in a SSRS web browser. You can see that in Excel sheet, or you can see in a Performance Point Server, or you can convert that data into some concepts like Power Pivot and Power BI, where the new concepts of Microsoft BI, so which are very new, and but that is beyond the course content. Okay, and once you have all the reports, dashboards developed from MSBI, you can put that in the SharePoint so that you can maintain the security. I said, right, the financial statement of a company, big company, cannot be viewed by everyone. It should be accessible only to the senior executives or CEO of the company, right? So based on using the security model available in SharePoint and Windows, we can do the concept of SharePoint delivery, right?